Now we've all made out faces and figures in, well, things that we're looking at, sometimes in the rock that maybe you're standing looking at, or the tree has a face that's watching you. Sometimes I found, the ceiling that I'm looking up at when I'm lying in bed, suddenly strange shapes and faces can be seen. But what's been interesting me lately, and what I had a chat with somebody about who was an art critic, let's say, and we were looking at different arts, different pieces of art that were quite inspirational, but at the same time we could make out objects in them, people in them, faces in them. And we were debating, now is it the artist that puts these in there? Now we're not, say we're looking at this painting and it's a seascape or a landscape, or even somebody's portrait. Sometimes you can see hidden in there faces, perhaps in the sky, perhaps in the rock, perhaps a face within the face of the portrait. One has to look carefully, but once one sees there first, let's say, you can't stop seeing them everywhere. And I'm sure many of you do look at certain landscapes and trees in real life and can see other figures within them. I was at Savernake Forest this year and I was stunned at how many creatures I could see in the trees, but that's a very old wood, a very primeval energy around it. And them trees, well, in some of them there were creatures I've never ever, I couldn't even dream up, but they were definitely elementals. And obviously the elementals want to work with us. But anyway, I'm going to go back to the paintings first and discuss that. For example, you've probably seen the Turner painting I've got here. You can see there's a face in the sky. We've got some other paintings here and you can see faces in the rock. And it's as if they're protruding out, but they're kind of watching us tacitly. They don't want us to be aware that they're there. Only those with eyes to see can see them, kind of thing. And I was talking with this art critic, we were debating. He thinks that the artist knows what he's doing and puts them in there, where I think the artist doesn't know what they're doing, and this is the elementals coming out and through them. So we were, obviously considering this. I'd be intrigued to see what other people think. For example, there's a picture on this film of Turner's seascape. There's a face in the sky if you look carefully. Now, did Turner know he was putting that face in the sky? Or is it part of his subconscious working, bringing that out, or his unconscious, bringing that out, I prefer subconscious, into the painting that he's making here, the artwork, the piece that he's making? Or is it the elementals in the oils that he's using, or in the brush? Because if Rudolf Steiner says everything's got an elemental that wants to work and works with everything, for example, like with the paintbrush as Turner paints, or with the paint itself, the oil is being put onto the brush and then onto the canvas. There's elementals helping it work there. I don't know if any of you read Terry Pratchett's Discworld, but he talks about it fantastically in them books about when someone takes a photograph with the camera, there's a little imp inside making the photograph, the picture. And Steiner talks about this, that everything's got elementals working, everything, and we need to work with these elementals. If we don't work with them, they will go to the dark side because they want to be made use of. They want to do things. They don't want to sit around like us lazy humans will find any excuse not to do something. So I wanted to put these pictures up because I find them very interesting. I see lots of things within them. I see lots of things within trees as well when I'm out and about, and I'd be intrigued to see what you guys see and stuff. And what do you think it is? Is it the elementals coming through? I'm going to give you one other example. My friend did artwork using melted wax, and in all her melted wax scenes there would be elfin figures that you could see coming through. So it wouldn't be the picture she was making, she was intending to make another picture, let's say a picture of a lovely flower, but then you could suddenly see, once it was completed, those with eyes to see, other figures in that melted wax painting or drawing, well, it's not drawing, I don't know what to call it, that she'd done. And she used to be delighted at seeing them come through. She used to tell me she didn't intentionally, she asked them to come in and then they would appear, but not everybody could see them. Again, I wonder if it's those with eyes to see. So the elementals want to make an appearance, and what can we be doing with that? But as the art critic I was with was saying, is this, let's go again back to the Turner one, with the seascape and the face at the top, if that's part of his subconscious, Turner's subconscious coming through, is it expressing how he was feeling that day when he was making that painting? It's intriguing, isn't it? Because many people look at this painting and they don't even notice that picture, that face in the sky. They're just looking with exoteric eyes, where we're trying to look with esoteric eyes and see the elementals within that are protruding through. And of course we want to work with them. I try and encourage people when I do my one-to-one workshops with people of going and being creative. It doesn't matter how crap you think you are. The process of creating is a magical rite. You are putting something into that creation, whether it's painting, clay, whatever, or music, making music, whatever. You're putting something into there and creating something. And the elementals love all that. They like to be take part in the motivation, not necessarily in the mechanical way of things working, but I mean mechanical and in the process of making something happen, creating something that they can be a part of and continue with. Otherwise they get bored and will sit around all mopey and look for someone else that would use them. And the dark side's always willing to use other people or other creatures to help them in their mission. So remember to keep the elementals working for good things and light things, and let me know what you think about seeing the elementals in real life, in trees and forests and woodland and in art. Thanks for watching.